Good morning, everybody. How are you? I really can't see right now. I'm having a migraine that's really affecting my vision, so I shouldn't even be doing this. But you know what? I got to get it over with because I got so much to do, so little time. You know what I mean? Heartburn. Don't get excited. Uh, so I put a new logo up. I don't know whether anybody likes that one or not. We'll see. Looks like a crazy owl, and that's pretty much the way the situation is. Crazy. We're talking about Trump, that who I think is going to, when he redecorates the Kennedy Center, Kennedy's name will be almost completely obscured, and plus all the artifacts which are inside. Trump is trying to change history. Now, he's not being subtle about it. He's being very, very blatant about it. That he wants his name where everybody else's name is. Not understanding that even the Republican Party won't put up with a lot of that stuff because they just don't like him. There's no respect for Trump anywhere. They're involved in this. He's bought a government. That's basically what he's done. He's bought the government, and they are doing whatever they can to help him along. But they don't like him. They're not going to be friends with this guy. And anybody who thinks they are crazy. They're using him like he uses them. They're tag alongs, which basically means that we have a bunch of politicians that aren't capable of individual thought right now. So that's where AI comes in. They can just, fit right in with these people. Okay, Jim, I'm well as can be expected. My wife is still in the hospital. She's going to be there for a while, I think. They're running tests on her. She said she didn't get to sleep till 1:30 last night because they came in late and they ran a test on her, and it was a very long test. They want to get these tests done. They want to get her out of the hospital. They want to find out what's going on with her. It's a puzzle they can't seem to crack. I asked her if she'd ever been recently bitten by anything, an insect or some animal or something like that, because that's what a lot of the symptoms are. But she says no. So I don't know. I mean, I've got 17 tick bites and I don't have any disease like Lyme disease, three of those, at least three of those ticks that I was able to find on my body were deer ticks, so I used to walk through a field, the field right behind the restaurant where I was working in the parking lot. If you walk into that field to get something out, you came out, you were covered in ticks. That's just the way it was. I mean, that's just amazing, you know. So anyhow, nice to see you, Jim boy. Hope you can hear me and see this, But yeah, right now I'm suffering with a migraine, which means that my vision is completely blurred. So right now I'm just closing my eyes and I'm talking. But so I can't see any replies or anything for a few minutes until my eyes clear up. It affects my vision primarily in my left eye. Uh, but it gets a little intense sometimes. It's also being accompanied by tinnitus right now at the moment. My left ear is ringing like crazy. So I try to answer it, but it doesn't respond. So I don't know. So what else is going on in the world? I mean, we've got Super Bowl coming up, and the amount of stuff going on about that. Oh, jeez. You can find an article that'll tell you the game is fixed, that the championship game was fixed, and this game is fixed. And let me explain something to you about professional sports. I believe that there's certain actions that take place within the game that there's some serious money bet on. All right. So do I believe there's corruption and betting and gambling influences in the outcomes of the games? Yes. Not necessarily the winner and loser, but the point spread and everything else. That's all definitely figured in by people. You watch a team going for down for a winning field goal. They'll get a penalty. They'll back it up 10 yards or something. Let's say 10 yards. That's a lot of difference. If you're at say if you're at 44, now you're at 54. That means a lot. Especially, well, I don't think the weather conditions are any problem. I believe this game is inside park. I don't remember. To be quite honest with you, I just opened my eyes. Well, yeah, if you're going to recover, Jim just said that's the hospital is the best place to recover. Yeah, either that or a bar or a strip club. If you're a guy, a strip club usually helps you recover very fast. Uh, I don't know if they have strip clubs where you are. We live within traditional scams, honed over time. Yeah, well, Trump comes up with new ones every once in a while. You got to be careful with him. Uh, what else am I going to say? Oh, this is going to be a rough day. God, now my head's starting to pound. I really shouldn't be doing this, but you know what? If I don't do it now, I'll never get it done. Because I have so many other things that I'll going to get involved in. I had to make an order for food before I even got on here because number one, I don't have anything, and number one, I need stuff for the Super Bowl, and I still got to go shopping because there's certain items I just don't, you know, want to pay to have delivered. Uh, Now, what else is happening in the world of sex, violence, and rock and roll? I forgot what I did with the other video with Trump. You know, we had that thing with the Kennedy senator. I don't know if he really hates Kennedy because I don't think Kennedy affected him at all too much, but he hates Obama. Please. He couldn't. I think he was doing the TV show when Turkish barbershops. Okay. The thing I don't understand is that he really his hatred for Obama goes back. When he started with that birth. I don't know how familiar with you are with the first time Trump ran, and he was going on with this birther. Before he even ran for president, he was talking about the birther that Obama shouldn't be president because he's not really a citizen of the United States. Well, because naturalized people can't be run for president. That's what stopped Schwarzenegger from running for president, and that would have been the bigger joke than Trump. So he's been a white supremacist for years and years and years and years and years and years, and this is just all starting to show up now. The Obama thing was when it became a real public thing that he's a racist. There's no reason to hate Obama. Obama was a very good president. All right, great. I don't know about that, but he was good. Trump's not a good president. Trump doesn't know how to lead a country. Trump has developed this policy that he got from watching little Kim run around and how he governs. He governs with fear and chaos. He doesn't grow. He doesn't have respect. It's absolute. Nobody I know respects Donald Trump. Even the people that vote for him really don't respect him. They just believe that it's more of a party thing. You know. Yeah, Jim. That's the obvious reason. He's Obama was a black person that was 10 times more popular than he was when he was on TV, and Obama wasn't even president anymore. He just hates it. Trump gets like that. He gets fixated on somebody and he hates them. There's no good involved in that person. There's no. Well, we can do something here. We can work together. No, there you can't. Yeah. But that's Donald Trump. He's Always been like that. And the thing about him going bankrupt that everybody talks about this is, he bankrupt businesses that shouldn't have gone bankrupt. He bankrupts them to make money. Okay, he is like the mafia. He learned a business from the mafia. You go in, you take over a business, you sell all its assets off, and then you bankrupt the business, and you walk away with not owing anybody anything, and you tons of money. That's the way it's been explained to me, but I don't know whether that's exactly right or not. I'm not an accountant, somebody with the, and I'm not sure you don't understand our bankruptcy laws any more than I do, Jim. But that's just the way it is. Uh, so what else is happening in the world of crime and stuff? Well, we got Trump out there. That's a convicted criminal. This is not. That's not a joke. He's going to get that expunged soon. He's gonna do everything he can to wipe out history. And he's not the first president to try and change history, but he's doing it by affecting structural things rather than programs and stuff like that change history. He's out there to just destroy history as it is, and make himself look much more popular than he is. Now, most of the major artists that I know of are fighting against Trump. There was a guy that came up, whose name came up. I don't have it with me right now. I really should have had it. Who was an entertainer and supported Trump. And the thing that bothered me about him is I had no idea who this guy was. He must be one dark and pathetic individual. I pity him if he weren't so bitter as his thing is. He is not pathetic. I guess you could say that maybe, but he's just basically stupid and arrogant, and he does a lot of his posting on that internet thing he has, Truth Social, his social platform, and he does it like 1, 2 o'clock in the morning. Now I'm not up then. I don't, and I swear to God, I'm not watching that one. I'm not signing up for that. I have enough bad news in my, you know, there's enough bad news out there. I don't need to subscribe to it. You know what I mean? But and I don't know, and I think what happens with that is he gets a lot of play because all the news agencies pick up on his rants and whatnot, and they discuss them. Especially these groups, Occupy Democrats and whatnot, and Occupy Democrats makes money off of that stuff because nobody is actually listening to that 1:30 in the morning. So that let's say the people on the East Coast are all clicking on Occupy Democrats to find out what he said, and every time you click on that, that makes like 25 cents from some sponsor. They get paid by the click as opposed to having a sponsor. Because they don't like. You're not familiar with True Social? That's his social media platform. He posts on that all the time. Whatever you do, don't sign up for it. But unless you want to, really be depressed. But you can just type it into Google, and they'll tell you what it is. It comes under, I think it's Donald Trump Media or something like that. It's one of the. It's makes no money, and it's I don't know. But he thinks it gives him something to do because Twitter canceled him, and he won't go back to Twitter. They allow him back on, but he doesn't go on Twitter anymore. You know, all those social platforms that banned him now let him on, but he stays off of them because he doesn't want criticism coming back at him instantly. People that are listening to that Truth Social aren't really, commenting criticisms back at them, like, like you're talking to me while I'm talking to you in the comment section, and they don't do that. So he gets to hang out and be a rock star, and just, and they say it's just rants and raves on that thing, and they break it down and interpret what he's saying, because sometimes he's not able to. He's not coherent. He's like me now, because I'm thinking about nine other things, and I'm trying to hold a conversation with people, and what are you going to do? I'm surprised though that you hadn't heard about Truth Social, because it's in the news. That's where a lot of his comments come from. Comments that he made on Truth Social. It's just, but that's all right. You know, I don't. Well, I don't communicate on social media either, except Facebook, and I do that because I can talk to my family in the United States that way. That I keep up on them; they're all on it, so we know what I know what's going on there. Uh, and then I, do emails and stuff to them. I don't make comments on there on that too much either. It's I see pictures of the family, and I know what's going on, and I get to see how they are and everything. Um, but I don't truly communicate anywhere with anybody in social media. I just observe what they say. And I've never clicked on Truth Social. I get my information about Truth Social from CNN and whatnot and other news agencies that said that. On Truth Social last night, Trump said this. But I don't use social media to except, I use, I call people up and talk to them, or I email people. I don't really communicate on a person to person basis, even with my family. First of all, they always want to talk to me when I'm out in the middle of nowhere walking the dog, or I'm fishing or doing something outside where I can't get a good reception and I can't hear them, and I get frustrated. I've lost a couple of phones that way. Don't know where they are. I just threw them as far as I could. All right, listen up. Jen, thank you for being there. Somebody else dropped out. Now I'm down to from 22 to 21 or something like that now, and I would really like to figure out how to. I gotta. I'm gonna start looking at other platforms to do this on, um, because I'm having problems with it a lot. It's not stable. So, but you know, they're working on it, so I'm giving them a chance. But I'm still looking at other things. But anyhow, I'll let you know what I'm doing and everything. I'll always be here, but I might be on some other platforms as well. We'll see what happens. Anyhow, that's it for me today, folks. I got to get going. I got to go to work. Thank you, Jim, for all your watching, and you're hanging in there. I'm glad you are. And let's see if we can get a few more people to join us. And I'll talk to you guys tomorrow. Maybe we can get some more Super Bowl talk going or something. We'll see what happens. Okay. See you guys tomorrow.